Well, welcome to yet another edition of Cranky Motorsports. I'm really rocking the videos this week because it's Labor Day weekend and I had Saturday and Sunday and Monday off. So I did work Saturday with Alex, did work yesterday, and today I'm going to do some more. So let's see what we're working on now. So what I'm going to be working on today is this 67 Super 12 that I picked up for free a month or so ago. This was actually in the video with Alex. I was trying to rope start it to use it to start his with a belt. I don't want to keep pull starting this thing. It's not fun. I've been dealing with a pinched nerve in my neck that's been making my hands go numb and stuff, and I don't want to keep pull starting it. It's a lot more fun if you just hop on it and turn the key. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. There's one extra wire in here. I'm not sure why. I think it's actually the ground wire that goes to the starter generator. I think this is also supposed to terminate on the bottom of the voltage regulator, and maybe they just never hooked it up. But somewhere along the line, somebody either replaced these wires or painted them. There's supposed to be a green wire and a brown wire that go to the starter generator, and then this is my hot lead for my battery. I think they painted everything because even the hot lead to the battery is black, so, or to the ignition switch. So I got to figure all that stuff out. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. Once I get that done, get the starter generator in there, and then I got a few other things. I want to swap the seat out, have a pan seat to stick on this right now, which really needs paint, but I don't have a whole lot of paint right now. It needs to get painted white. I don't think I have any white. And then the stack, I got to try to find some paint to spray on this because that red is just bothering me. So let's get to it, see how much I can get done today. I'm betting I'll be able to get all this stuff finished up, hopefully have this thing running with the key. And then I also have a toggle switch to replace the light switch on this because the light switch is completely seized up. So I thought about grabbing it with pliers and trying to work it in and out, but honestly, I like toggle switches better. I bought like 20 of these off a guy on eBay a couple of years ago for like 27 bucks. He was just blowing them out really cheap. And even though these are made for AC power, if you put them on a DC circuit, they don't use a lot of current, so it'll be more than enough to run this. I have them on half of my tractors at this point. So I'm gonna get set up with time lapse and see how much I can get done. Now, over the years, I've had so many people tell me things like it's impossible to change the starter generator without taking this bracket off, or it's impossible to change a voltage regulator without taking the dash off. It's not impossible. It's just not easy. I mean, if it was possible for a plain orange pumpkin to become a Colden carriage, why is it impossible to change a starter generator on a tractor? Anyway, getting back to it, I did find some silver paint and I painted my whole stack silver. It'll probably burn off in the first time I drive it, but at least it's not red. I figured out the wiring on this. The extra wire that goes to the bracket is a ground wire for the starter generator, which for the voltage regulator, which means I have to get under the tractor and take off one of the nuts for the voltage regulator so I can put it on the bolt and put that back in. And then the starter generator, I always mark these when I take them off so I know where the wires go. On the terminal for the wire coming from the ignition, there's a brown wire and the positive from the battery, and the field wire, I think is what it is a green wire that goes to the far terminal on the voltage regulator, which is this one here. So this is my field wire. This brown wire goes to the same wire that goes up to the ignition switch for the voltage going to power the starter. And then the third wire that's in here, I have to mount on the voltage regulator. So let me get to that.
Rusty metal, greasy engine, grinding gears, dim lights, bald tires, decrepit machines all have their place. Bringing all the cranky motorsports, we'll give it new life. Old tractors, new trucks, dead cars, we love rough. Fix them all with duct tape and W-duty. Fire wrench and welder, wrench and screwdriver will answer the call. Vintage garden tractors, generators or cars. If it has an engine, we can answer the call. New carburetors, new tires, twist the
So of course, as I was going through things, I noticed a few other problems. I got the cigarette lighter wired correctly. The wire for that is actually supposed to come off of the accessory terminal on the ignition switch, which is the A, which also goes to the ammeter. One side, the negative side of the ammeter. So I got that hooked up correctly. Now what I'm working on is fixing the ignition or the throttle cable, because it was slipping in the control lever itself. When you'd pull up on the throttle, the cable would pull up and I wouldn't get a full throttle out of it. So I fixed that. And while I was at it, this was actually a replacement throttle cable and it was too long. So I shortened that. And now I'm just tightening my throttle cable back up. Then I will put a battery in it and see if the starter generator actually is going to work properly. At the same time, I did change the light switch to a toggle switch, so that should be good to go. And by wiring the cigarette lighter to the correct terminal, it should not cause a draw on the battery, which was a concern I had. So the whole point of doing all this work, I didn't even take the side panel off of this thing. I didn't take half the stuff off that normally everybody says you have to take off, because I wanted to prove that you can do a lot of these repairs without having to disassemble the entire tractor. Now for the throttle cable, this is going to be kind of difficult to see, but for the throttle cable, there's a little, you have to put like a little bend in the end of the cable. I don't know if you guys have ever worked on these, but the throttle cable, it's not supposed to be straight like this. It's supposed to have like a little zigzag in the end of it. And I've made them myself a whole bunch of times. Oh, did I cut this thing too short? Did I really? I think, oh man, I think I made the throttle cable too short. Dang it, that's a bummer. Well, crisis averted on that front. All I did was make a little tiny extension link, bent the end of the cable all the way over, bent another one in the opposite direction, and then put a short little adapter piece in there, and that works. So, you know, sometimes the simplest solution is the easiest solution, and in this particular case, that was an easy one. So, all right, I'm gonna put the battery in this thing and then see if we can get her to fire. So, let's see if this thing cranks over. Hey, that's a good sign. See if I can get it to start. Oh, I guess I need to turn the fuel on too, don't I? Might help. Look at that. So much better with a starter on this thing. Hey, the charging system works. Amazing. Well, that's good. Charging system works. The one headlight works. Starter generator belt's on. I can put the starter generator cover on. I gotta find an air cleaner. Let's go try to dig up an air cleaner and find that starter generator cover. Well, it seems I'm destined to fight this thing left and right. I went looking for the cover for the starter generator, got that, found bolts for it that fit, went looking for air cleaner parts, and when I was putting the bolts in for this, they were a little bit long and I wanted to make sure that they weren't going to drag the flywheel, so I stuck the key in and tried to start it, and literally, I can't make this stuff up, the ignition switch fell apart. So I decided instead to go ahead and go get the parts for the air cleaner. And then I had to find this little stupid bracket. I can never find these things when I need them. I do have a bunch of them kicking around the garage, but I had to go digging around for it. Finally found that. Now I'm going to put the air cleaner on. And then I have to try to find the ignition switch. I have a brand new ignition switch somewhere in my garage, but I need to find it. So first, the air cleaner. assembly. Alright, there's the base. I got an air filter that was on this tractor that is very new with the pre-filter, and a brand new wing nut and a blue air cleaner lid. May not look pretty, but it's there and it's good. Are you kidding me? The wing nut's a different thread. How is it a different thread? It's a freaking 1/4 inch. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, I can't make this stuff up. The wing nut is not threaded correctly. I bought these from Summit. They should be a 1/4 20 wing nut, and it won't thread on. Oh, now it does. Must have just had a burr in it. Yep. Alright, so that's good. Air filter's on and tight. One less thing to worry about there. Now I gotta fix the ignition switch. Poop. Oh man, I'm telling you. The life of a mechanic. You know, my dad was right. I wanted to be an auto mechanic when I was a kid. And my dad said, don't be an auto mechanic. Get a real job, make good money, and do mechanic work as a hobby. And he was right, because if I did this for a living, I would probably be very unhappy a lot of the time. Am I going to be able to reach that if I take the battery back out? So that's what I'm going to do. Stand by.
We'll make it shine. We'll have it running as good as new, or at least as good as old. Cranky Motorsports will fix them all with duct tape and W-duty. Fire wrench and welder, wrench and screwdriver will answer the call. Vintage garden tractors, generators of cars. If it has an engine, we can answer the call.
Oh, that was fun. Luckily, I had a spare ignition in my garage. It was, I think, the right one. It was one I bought off of eBay a few months back for another tractor and I never ended up using, so I'm hoping it's the right one for this. We shall find out very shortly. I'm going to put the battery back in and hopefully that'll be the end of that for tonight. If I feel like it, I might still throw a 3-point hitch on this thing, but now it's getting late. I need to cook dinner soon for my kids. And this video is going to be way too long. You know, I've been trying to make 10, 12 minute long videos, and the last few I made have just been bangers. They've been wicked long. And I don't really know a way to shorten them much because, you know, I'm trying to show the process of fixing these things up, and sometimes it takes a half an hour long video to get that point across. I've been out here since 3:30 and it's after 6, so actually it might have been before 3:30 when I came out, but I've been out here for over 3 hours doing the amount of work I did, and to me it doesn't feel like I got a whole lot done, but you know, I did get the important stuff that I wanted to get done today done. I'm just hoping this ignition switch works and doesn't, like I said, it should be the right one. It's a rotary brand 31-2942. It says right in the instructions that it's for a Sears, but it also says that it has more terminals than it needs on most of the machines. But come to find out, the ignition switch that was in this thing before anyway didn't have the correct terminals on it. So I'm hoping this one is right and that the charging system and everything is still going to work properly. Alright, so it didn't spark when I touched that. That's a good thing to start with. I wonder if that headlight's just not working because it's got a bad ground, because I'm looking at the wires and they don't look very good. I might just try jumping the grounds together and see if that fixes that problem, but that's not an issue for tonight. Alright, battery's back in, ignition switch, the new one's in. Let's see. Oh, I shut the fuel back off, didn't I? Nope, still on. Okay. Give it a little choke. everything works, that is a good sign. And let's see. Good, accessories work, charging system works. I can see it discharge and charge. That is great. That means the starter generator on this thing is good now. I am happy. I still need to fix this fuel line. It's a little bit too long, but again, for another day, I might just pick up and put this thing away today, because that is a victory and a half. I fixed a whole bunch of stuff. Got the starter generator in, got that wiring fixed, it charges, the lights work. I got the air cleaner on, I got a battery in it, I got a new ignition switch in it. I don't know, I think that's where I'm gonna have to stop it for tonight. Like I said, it's getting late and I don't want to start getting frustrated. There are a few more things I could do tonight, but I think I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead. So thanks for stopping by. I appreciate everybody who comes and joins my channel. This tractor is going to be a keeper. I'm going to continue to just pick away at one thing at a time until I get it right. But keep stopping in if you want to see more updates. Thanks a lot.